Alright guys, what's up? WithASideOfShred here. Today we have another review. This time it's going to be a little different. It's not a deck or wheel review, but this time we will be reviewing some Riptide WFB bushings for you. I have 3 different shapes that I will be reviewing, as well as different combinations that I've tried out and which ones I like the best for freeriding and or downhill. A little background information on the WFB bushings in case you are not up to date on their formulas. WFB stands for World's Fastest Bushing. This is because it comes with a pre-lubricated surface which allows less resistance in the truck, so you get a deeper turn as well as a quicker response and allows for a very fluid motion of the truck. I've never felt any bushings like this before. I've come from countless sets of Venoms, and these are probably some of the most lively bushings I've ever ridden. With this formula, you're gonna be experiencing roughly 15 to 20% more turn than another bushing of comparable durometer. So when you're choosing bushings, you're gonna want to go at least 2, maybe even 3 durometers higher than you're used to. Another aspect that sets the WFB apart from other bushings is their extremely low return to center. A lot of people who step on these bushings kind of refer to them as mushy, but I want to describe it as completely controllable. These bushings will not bounce back when you do not want them to the center point. These bushings are under your control the entire time. As long as you're still leaning, the bushings will be leaning. That being said, the WFB is going to be for people who are more experienced riders who want to get the most control out of their bushings and don't want to be controlled by their bushings. Riptide sent me some barrel shapes, Fatcones, as well as Chubbies. I get to try each one of them out, as well as different combinations of them. The first combination I got to try out was a double barrel combo, both of 93A durometer. I went ahead and chose this standard setup because I come from a long line of Venoms, and in Venom bushings I find the double barrels to be well suited for downhill as well as freeride. Riptide double barrels, however, are extremely divey and the most maneuverable combination of bushings that I've tried from Riptide. I would recommend the double barrel combo to mostly freeriding. If I had 1 durometer harder, so instead of a 93 I also had a 95.58, I could use the double barrel combo a lot more effectively, but with the double 93A it was just a little too much and I got wheel bite pretty easy. However, I was still able to take them up to speed around 45 miles an hour. The next combination I tried was a Chubbie and a barrel, both of 93A durometer. The Chubbie barrel combo made it nice and stable for downhill. I felt way more comfortable on the Chubbie barrel combo than I did the double barrel combo. This is partly because of the instep that the Chubbie uses, so it fits nice and tight into the bushing seat, and then right as it's exiting the bushing seat, it expands and becomes wider, so it helps restrict some of the lean. Like I said, that setup was the most stable for downhill, but I also rode it at a slide jam and was still able to freeride quite nicely. It offered a little bit more control than the double barrels, so you just didn't tip over. You had the nice lean initiation and the nice control from the Chubbie. The last setup I tried was the Fatcone and a barrel combo, both of 93A again. This is pretty similar to the Chubbie, considering the Fatcone has the same instep and then expansion to a wider width, but the Fatcone is going to be a little bit more progressive than the Chubbie, so you're still going to have some nice easy lean right away, but as you get to the end of the lean, the Fatcone kicks in and helps restrict some of it compared to the double barrel combo, but it's still more responsive than the barrel Chubbie combo. I found this to be the best option for freeriding. You can still take it downhill and stuff, but with the Fatcone it really provides a nice progressive feeling for slides, so you don't keep leaning and ice out on some of your slides. I weigh roughly 170 pounds, and all the bushings I've tried from Riptide so far have been of 93A durometer. This is a pretty solid feeling for me. However, at first it was a little extreme almost. It felt like I was riding something almost like 80A. So if If I were to recommend to someone of my weight caliber, I would recommend messing around with some of the 95.5As, just so you get that added extra stability and it doesn't feel like you'll just dive right off your board and fall over. But after several weeks of riding these bushings, I really like them, and they'll probably make a permanent replacement of my Venom bushings. I may even try out the other formula that Riptide offers, as well as some different durometers to get a nice, perfectly dialed in feeling. That's gonna go ahead and wrap up the review of the Riptide WFB bushings. I just want to go ahead and say again, thanks to Riptide for sending these out to me. I really appreciate it, and there's some great bushings, so bye.